Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Strawberry Hill Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Simmons, and of course, we're always here at the Shop Cigar Lounge. It's getting ready for that time of year where it's getting nice and cozy outside, nice and chill, so I better be seeing you in here. Before we get started, make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms at Strawberry Hill Podcast. And today, we have Mr. Jack Torano, the Director of Sales. Torano.
Hey.
Did I get it right? Yeah. Director of Sales for ESPINOSA Cigars. How are you, man?
I'm doing great, man. I had to bust out the hoodie. It's a little chilly.
I know.
In KCA.
Yeah, because Miami weather is probably staying 90 degrees.
90 and muggy. And,
yeah.
You know, come to this. And I know.
So, first question. When are you going to attend your first Chiefs game?
I've been to a Chiefs game, just not here.
Oh, yeah?
I've been to a Chiefs game in Miami.
But we need to get you to wear a Chiefs jersey.
I was at a Chiefs game at Soldier Field where it was like 15 below.
Uh-huh.
And I lasted till halftime. And then I'm not a Bears or Chiefs fan, so I didn't care.
So who'd you root for, though?
I was rooting to not have frostbite. I honestly didn't care who would win the game.
One of these days.
Who are you rooting for tonight?
Who do you think?
I don't know. I couldn't tell.
Everyone, I'm just letting you guys know that he does have a Chiefs jersey underneath the hoodie. He's just not showing it.
Yes.
Yeah, he's trying to rep Kansas City.
It's the knuckle sandwich Chiefs.
Yeah. Yes. So, man, how you been, though?
I've been good. Traveling like crazy. This is Josh. Josh won the lottery this week, so I get to spend a little time with Josh. And, he loves it when I'm out with him.
I don't know. He talks about you. He's like, man, I really miss Jack. He tells me that all the time.
There you go. You owe him $20 too.
Yeah. Thank you. I'll take my money.
We were at a lounge and me and Josh were sitting like this, and every once in a while Josh would get up, and when he would get up and leave, some other random customer would come over and say, I just wanted to say hi and shake your hand and let you know that Josh is an incredible rep. I'm like, dude, are you just walking away and sending people over here? What?
Might be giving people money.
You owe like $20 to like four guys.
He gave me $30.
But the coincidence was that every time he left, they came over.
I will say, and he did not pay me yet for this, but he is one of my favorite reps.
Yeah,
he does a good job.
I saw him hand you a bundle of cigars. So
so I know that's exactly why I'm saying that. Like, thank you, Josh. So, what's the life of a sales director like? This is not your first kind of gig doing this, right?
This is my first as national sales director. I mean, I've done everything there is to do in this industry, from marketing to sales rep to now national sales director, and it's if I'm in the office, it's looking at a lot of numbers, looking at projections, looking at and I don't like that. And I don't like to micromanage these guys. I've been in that position where I work for somebody that's a micromanager. And, life on the road is difficult enough. And to have somebody up your ass, basically. Can you say ass on this show?
Yeah, you can say whatever you want.
Okay. I didn't know.
Ass.
I thought Catholic Charities struck out there. I didn't know.
Yeah.
But everybody got sponsored by. So I do my best to not micromanage them unless they need to be micromanaged because, unless they give me a reason to. And we've built a really good sales team, not only Josh, but we've built a really good sales team that they're out there doing what they need to do. 80% of being a good rep is knock on doors and don't be a dick.
Yeah,
that's 80% of it.
Yeah,
you don't want to be that guy that people don't want to see.
Yeah, I'll actually agree with that.
You got some of those.
Yeah, but it's just like they could have great cigars, but it's really the personality. Like if you really vibe with them, get along with them.
But again, I've seen reps that don't have great cigars.
Yeah,
and they're successful because it's who they are. I always tell them, listen, you're not only out there building ESPINOSA, you're building your brand.
Yeah.
You're building the Josh brand or the Tyler brand or any of my other reps. You're building your brand. How often does a rep lose his job and the company takes the hit?
Yeah,
because the relationship you have, listen, I love seeing you, and I see you, once a year, maybe twice a year sometimes. But you see him every month.
Yep.
More than that.
Sometimes twice, sometimes
your
three
relationship
times.
was with Josh, and a lot of companies learn the hard way that when they do wrong by their reps, the company takes the hit. So we certainly you certainly want to put the right people in place, and I think we have.
Oh yeah.
And and off we go. So it's my role to, I kind of set my own schedule, kind of work it around Eric's. We don't want to be too often in the same place unless it's a super big multi-vendor event or something like that. We're crisscrossing the country. So we kind of travel feet off of where we're going. He doesn't really travel with the reps unless there's events. But I travel just to see how everything's going.
So how often are you traveling? Because you're probably on the road
for the better part of, I try to keep it to 2 weeks a month.
Oh, that's not too bad.
But it never works out. It never works out that way. You always get that 6 weeks in a row type of thing, just because of where multi-vendors fall on the calendar, where I have to be. I'm like, I start the year dead set on, honey, I'm going to be home more. I tell my wife, and then it's like 7 straight. I look at the calendar. I said, I just want to warn you that, and keep remembering that absence makes the heart grow fonder, because you're not going to see me much for the next, 7
So how long have you been married?
I've been married. We've been together for 16 years now. We've been married for 12 of those years.
Congrats, man.
Yeah. So good girl I knew in high school.
Oh, yeah? High school sweetheart.
I was dating her friend in high school. I was dating her friend in high school, and we got together at a high school reunion 16 years ago. And she was going through a divorce, and had just broken up with the girl I was living with, and we just stayed in touch on Facebook, and that developed over like a 9-month period.
Good deal, man.
And here we are.
And she's sticking around.
That's what I tell her. Careful what you wish for.
So tell me, I guess, like, your background in cigars. Like, how did you get into the industry?
So everybody likes to say I was born into it. The Torano family is started in 1916. So you're looking at 109 years ago is when my grandfather started cultivating tobacco in Cuba. And for the majority of the Torano family, we were growers and brokers of leaf tobacco. And it was on my mom's side of the family and my dad, Jaime Torano. It was in his side of the family, but my dad passed away when I was 13 years old. He was way older than my mom. Yeah, he was he was a huge cigar smoker, but he also smoked 3 packs of cigarettes a day. And cancer got him at 63. And so I didn't. When my dad passed away, cigars kind of left my side of the family, because there's different sections of my family. There's the Carlos Torano, my dad's brother Carlos Torano, who passed away at a farm in the Dominican Republic in like 1970, and that's Charlie Torano. That's his son Carlos Torano. That's that side. They kind of took over at that time. And credit to Charlie's dad, Carlos, my cousin. The name Torano stayed alive in the industry because of them, because it was in the late 70s and 80s, and cigars were a dying culture. It was something our parents were doing, and they were passing away. It was a rough time for cigars. Yeah. And they kept the lights on through those times. And then in the 90s, Torano started. Again, I was out of the industry, always close to everything, but I had moved on to do other things. And but always stayed close with Charlie and Carlos and the family. And when they would do big smokes, especially, I was living in Chicago for a while. Then when they were in Chicago, I would see them, and they'd come by the studio. They'd do everything, and then in late 2010, the opportunity came, partly because of the woman I'm married to. Yeah, she wanted to move back to Miami, and I'd been in Chicago 14 years, and I'm like, I hadn't thought of moving back to Miami, but I want to be with her. And I think the cigar industry is where I need to be now. And I basically showed up at Torano's offices. Okay. A little orphan, and said,
a job.
I want to move back here. You got a job for me.
So what did you start off doing?
Marketing. Yeah, I started really doing marketing and PR stuff for Torano. Wasn't traveling a lot in the early, in 2011. I do big smoke. I do the big multi-vendors and the trade shows. But other than that, I wasn't doing this. It was Charlie. We had a national sales director. They were doing the traveling. And so I learned that side of it, and then all of a sudden Torano sells to General, and I'm out of a job. I mean, once I came back and fell in love with the cigar industry, I thought, this is wonderful. This is what I'll do till I retire one day, hopefully.
Yeah.
And then I didn't see the sale on the horizon.
They sold it.
Yeah, they sold it. It was funny because at the time people were congratulating me. You know, I'm like, congratulating me? I'm out of a job. You know, it wasn't my side of the family that sold. And I moved on to like a sub boutique brand with Miguel Chodel from Crown Heads and a few other people. We worked on building, but I always had my sights set on going to work for General.
Yeah,
I wanted to be with a Torano brand. So while I was working that sub boutique, I was still kind of pitching myself to General.
Yeah.
And it took them a year and a half of me bothering them to finally say, you know what, we're going to hire you.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably good idea for them because like the family lineage and everything.
Well, it would have been, and that was the whole thing. I mean, I showed up. They were doing at Cigar Fest in the Poconos. I showed up there, and there was a Torano booth, and the big shield is there. It says Torano Family Cigars. And I remember telling Regis, who was the new president of General Cigar of the STG, I said, I love what you're doing with the brand. I really didn't because they made. I didn't like the boxes. But I wanted to go. I wanted to be there. I said, I love what you're doing with the brand, but you're missing one thing. And keep in mind, he's been president now for 3 months. The other president was let go, and they had a little void. He came in, and he didn't know how much I had pitched myself to the old president. And I said, you're missing one thing. And he says, what's that? And I said, you're missing me. That shield says Torano Family Cigars. You need a family member. And he goes, you'd be willing to come work for us? And I'm like, clearly you haven't heard.
Like, I've been trying.
I've been trying. And a month later, I was hired. So off and running with General for 3 years, and unfortunately, they didn't seem to have the warm and fuzzies for the Torano brand, and we're looking by the end of year 3 to kind of give it to Cigars International, and that's where you want Torano cigars. That's where you're going to go get them. And at that point, there's no need for me. But I saw the writing on the wall, and Eric and I have been friends for years, and I've always wanted to work with Eric, but the timing was never right. Like when the company sold in 2014, Eric was just a couple years old. The first phone call I made the day that Torano sold was to Eric Espinosa, and we were more acquaintances than friends back then. But Eric knows this industry inside and out, and I needed somebody to talk to. And we talked for a long time, and knowing Eric now, the fact that he talked to me for a long time, because he's very quick with, he gives you, when I come to him with a question, he's solid on what he tells me.
Yeah.
But it's quick.
Yes.
It's quick. It's to the point. But we spoke for a long time, and he said, I'd love to hire you, but I can't afford you. And I said, I'm not calling you for a job. I'm just, my head is spinning from what just happened. And then in 2016, when I left the sub boutique brand, the first thing I did was post on social media that I had parted ways with that brand, and didn't say where I was going, but I was already hired by General.
Yeah.
And I spoke to Eric, and Eric's like, I don't believe you would quit your job without having somewhere to go, but if you don't, I think we're ready for it.
Yeah.
And I said, listen, I'm going to General. He goes, you're making the right move. Give the family, you're making the right move. And then when it was ending again, I spent that last month before I got fired. Fired's a harsh word, but before I got let go, with Eric. I'd go to the office. It was during the holidays, so we went and judged a first responder pig roast competition, and spent a lot of time with Eric. And Eric was like, listen, why are you waiting for them to let you go?
Yeah.
Just quit. You're my national sales director. Quit. You have a job with me right now. And I said, because they owe me a really big bonus. And I told him the number, and he says, you should stay. So I said, I guarantee you by the end of this month, by the end of December 2018, I will know either way. Sure enough, December 18th, they fly me up there.
That's a telltale sign right there.
Well, but under the pretense of brand ambassador and senior brand manager planning meetings. So we get there the 17th, we have a dinner, and the 2018th is what General likes to joke at now. It was ugly sweater competition in the office of General Cigars and the holiday cookie bake-off. So everybody's in a really festive mood, but I'm going to get fired that morning. So I'm walking into that place. The principals that know what's going on are avoiding me.
Yeah.
Everybody's got cookies and ugly sweaters. I was like,
did you dress up?
No, but I should have. I look back on it now.
Should have had like a sweater that says, "I hope I don't get fired today."
Yeah. I would have come with cookies and a sweater. Fire me now.
Yeah.
And but the funny thing is, I don't know if you know Brian McGee from Crown Heads. So he worked with us in the Torano days. And every year at the trade show, we would have a team dinner at Joe Stone Crab in Las Vegas, and they'd give us a private room. We had a connection to one of the managers, and they'd give us this private room. The first year, it was a prefix menu. You could choose items from here. The next year, unbeknownst to us, Charlie was in negotiations to sell the company.
Yeah.
So he told the entire sales team, "Is that Nate?"
That is Nate.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Don't worry. We're calling you out in the podcast.
Anyways, unbeknownst to anybody there, he's looking to sell the company, negotiating with General, and he says, as he gives his little welcome speech to the table, he tells everybody, "There's no prefix menu this year. Order anything you want." And
this is before you got so you're like, "Oh,
this is at Torano."
Oh, okay.
So Brian McGee looks at Miguel Chodell and says, "I feel like ordering the lobster." And when push came to shove, he didn't have the balls to order the lobster. He didn't order the lobster. And then 3 months later, he's fired because Charlie sold the company. He was like, "I should have ordered the lobster." So at the General dinner the night before I got fired, I ordered lobster.
And I get three orders?
I took a picture of it and sent it to Brian McGee. I said, "I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but I've ordered the lobster." Brian was dying. And then they let me go, and they treated me fantastic. I mean, the severance was fantastic. They kept me on the books. They gave me my bonus. I mean, I have nothing but love for everybody at General. And I remember when they let me go, they left me in a room for like 2 minutes, and I picked up the phone and called Eric, and I said, "I'm on board." And he goes, "They fired you?" I said, "We'll talk when I get back. We'll talk when I get back." So I said, "But I'm not starting till January 2nd. December 18th, I'm going to get through the holidays. I start January 2nd. And off we went. So, while they let me go, I was never out of a job, really. And I'm closing in now on 7 years with Eric. And it's been with the family, with the sub boutique was a job, not the passion I have for this industry. General was fantastic, but this has been the best 7 years I've ever experienced in the cigar industry working with Eric. So
how's it been working with ESPINOSA? Like,
listen, it's been fantastic. I have no complaints. That we had to learn as anybody. I come in new. I'm the national sales director. I've never really held that role, so I had a lot of learning to do. I'm now. I've inherited a sales team, so who am I keeping? Who am I letting go? You'd rather go down with a team you hired, not a team you inherited. And I made it clear to everybody, you perform, you're on this team. But and there's still a few of them from day one, but we excuse me, we had to make some moves here and there. And the idea was, we were all brokers at that time. The idea was, listen, Eric, if we want to move to the next level, we need to start hiring in-house.
Yeah.
Little by little, I'm not telling you just we're going to go crazy and hire in-house, but one a year. Let's get one a year. And then that year one, we hired Texas and Oklahoma, Tony Gomez. We hired Tony. And every year since then, I'm 6 years in, we have 6 in-house reps. So next year I'm looking to add another one, and there's some brokers that will never go anywhere because the areas don't warrant don't justify having. There's not enough meat on the bones to have an in-house rep there, and the brokers are good. So
and then because I'm sure that when you probably got in, it because I don't know why they say ESPINOSA is like a bigger boutique brand. I think you guys are on the map by now. Like, but I'm sure, once you kind of got in, like,
depends. Yeah, it depends on what people look at as boutique. I mean, that's to me, there is not two categories. There's not the big boys and boutiques. There can't be, because that's why I referred to that company I work for as a sub boutique. Yeah, because there can't be two categories. We're certainly not. I think we're in that we're in that Roma Craft Crown Heads, which are upper tier, Steve Saka, upper tier of the boutique world. You know, I think if you move to that next level that's closest to the Altadas in general and Drew Estate, and, you know, then you hit the Perdomos, you hit, you know, My Father, you hit those. They're a little, the Rockies of the world but I think in terms of true boutiques, we're doing really well.
Is that a goal of you to like reach that like bigger brand status, or do you like kind of being that sub
Yes, and I'd like to win the Powerball on tomorrow night.
Well,
yes. The goals need to be realistic. You know, we're never going to be General. We're never going to be Altadas. We're never going to be that. But you do want to grow. I mean, you want to grow the way my father grew, the way the way Rocky grew. You know, those levels are attainable. Those levels are attainable. You know, Gurkha, those levels are attainable.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are moving toward top tier boutique.
100%.
We're just not.
Yeah.
We won't be. We'll collaborate with General again, hopefully one day, but we won't be competing that way.
Well, speaking of collaborating, you guys have the knuckle sandwich with Guy Fieri.
With Guy Fieri.
Yeah,
yes.
and like, how did that come about?
That was the crazy thing for me is that, you know, it's for 10 years, my wife's a big Food Network, as many people are, big Food Network fan. So while at dinner the TV was on, she'd always put the Food Network on. And it just so happens that at that time we have dinner, 6:30, it was either Grocery Games or Triple D. It was always Guy was on. So here is this dude that's having dinner with us, basically. He's in the background of every one of our dinners for 10 years. And then I start hearing rumors that he's always wanted to get in the cigar industry. And a lot of people have pointed him toward Eric Espinosa. And Eric's going to meet him. And I'm like, all right, cool. None of us are a part of this. It's Eric. Eric went to a food and wine festival and hung out with him till like 5 a.m. Guy wouldn't let him go. And they were long lost brothers. I mean, they hit it off. And Eric spent the night trying to talk him out of doing a cigar.
That's what Eric told me that the first time. Yeah,
he tried to talk him out of it, and until Guy told him, listen, why are you saying that he said, listen, first of all, I don't want a celebrity cigar. I want a cigar. I don't want my name on the cigar. I don't, the only place we put his name, excuse me, the only place we put his name is on Chef Special. Yeah. It has the Guy Fieri. He was adamant about not having it on the bands, not having, his image on the boxes. Yeah. This is not what it is.
You don't want to get too gimmicky.
He wants to be in the cigar industry, not a celebrity in the cigar industry. He wants to be part of a brand. And I think that's one of the main reasons it worked. The second main reason is he's heavily involved. You rarely see that guy without a cigar in his hand. Yeah. He does 10 to 20 events a year. He's always at the trade show. He's very, very on the food. He's wearing Espinosa Triple D, Espinosa knuckle sandwich T-shirts. Yeah, on his shows, the millions of people that watch that. So I think that's what has taken this celebrity cigar to another level. Yeah, and so everything went great.
Speaking of, we're both smoking knuckle sandwiches.
We're both smoking. I got the Connecticut.
Yeah,
you got
the Puro.
The Puro.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, I might need to use your lighter.
There you go.
And this is the coolest lighter. I don't know if you guys can see this. We do sell these here. I don't know. I think I'm out, but I need to order more. La Bamba lighter, the Warhead ones, and you guys always have like the coolest lighters, boxes.
That Puro is smoking really bad, by the way.
Oh, that's all right. It's just because I'm talking and I'm
going to say it's user error.
It is user error.
So to close, the funny thing is that like I told you, he's been having dinner with us for 10 years, me and my wife. And then finally one day he's like, yeah, we've settled. We're getting samples out. We're doing a cigar. And one day there's a commotion. I'm in the conference room. There's a commotion in the office, and Guy walks in and sits in front of me. I've never met this dude. And inside I'm going, I got a little starstruck.
Shit, yeah.
This is, and he's nice as can be, and really down to earth. And I introduced myself, and we talked for a few minutes, and then we discussed the brand. And I remember for the first 3 or 4 months, anytime he spoke to me, it was big guy. Big guy.
Big guy.
Big guy. And the first time he turned to me and said, Jack, inside I was like, he knows my name. I was like a little girl. And now he's texting me all the time and driving me crazy. So.
Yeah, God, come on now.
but yeah, it's been an amazing run with that brand, and I hope it lasts forever.
Yeah, and I like what you said about, like, you know, if you're going to have someone of like that, like celebrity status, like, because so many celebrities try to get into the cigar industry, it's like you have to be fully dedicated to that brand and like,
Sure.
you know, in promoting it. Because a lot of people, I don't say a lot of people, but some celebrities just get in, they just put their name on a cigar box and just say, these are my cigars, and then you don't ever see them.
But again, what other celebrity has ever gotten into our industry with the platform that Guy Fieri has? None.
No.
It's usually a regional athlete. You know, Big Papi. They love that guy in Boston.
Yeah.
They hate him in a lot of other places. Same with Gary Sheffield. Same with all these regional athletes. Ray Lewis in Miami, and because he played with the Hurricanes, and in Baltimore, he's a legend. But go to some other states.
Yeah.
They don't want to.
They go to Cincinnati.
Yeah, go to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
They ain't smoking Ray Lewis cigars in Cincinnati. Guy transcends everything. You know, Guy is, you got women now interested. He's bringing people into this industry that, I mean, listen, the culture, what I try to explain to people, the culture in our cigar industry is phenomenal. Any shop you walk into in the country, you're welcome.
Yep.
You're welcome as a friend, and you make new friends, and it can be a very geeky industry, but again, it's very welcoming.
Yeah, I always tell people, like, I've met the most interesting and some of the best people at a cigar lounge.
Sure.
Because you never know who you're smoking with, and you can be sitting down with really anyone, because everyone's kind of on the same level, playing field. Yeah,
is on this level.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's the most relaxing. It's listen, if you got world leaders sitting around enjoying a cigar, they might be able to solve problems.
You ain't kidding.
They might be able to solve problems.
You ain't kidding. I
smoke 3, 4, 5 cigars a day, but there's not a cigar I enjoy more than the one after dinner. When I'm home, I go out onto my porch, sit there. My wife comes out. We shoot the shit a little bit. And that is the most relaxing, most enjoyable cigar, because I get to reflect on the day, think about things, and process everything that happened in the day, and figure out what rep I'm going to yell at the next day. and
not Josh though.
Not Josh.
Would never do Josh.
Not Josh.
He's not paying attention.
Not Josh. You can't miss him with that white hat on.
I know.
Yeah.
So, do you remember your very first cigar?
So, in the 80s, I was selling leaf tobacco out of a warehouse in Miami with my grandfather. That's my mom's dad. And I worked with him for about 5 years. So he passed away. My grandfather smoked, unlike my dad. Remember I told you about the 3 packs a day? My grandfather smoked cigars since he was 13 years old, died in his sleep at 91 years old, and worked in that office till the day before he passed away.
Jeez.
So he would, Ernie Carrillo and his dad would come and select tobacco out of the bales. And my grandfather would select tobaccos. He wouldn't blend it, but he would say, I like this, and give it to the Carrillos. And they would take it, and a week later, they would bring him like 6 bundles. And my grandfather would keep them in a metal cabinet. And that's the first cigar. And as I remember, it was incredible. It might have been garbage, but I doubted if the Carrillos were making it.
Yeah.
You know? And that's some unnamed blend that my grandfather picked out. That's the first cigar I ever smoked. You know, and then I went probably, when I left that side of I went 10 years without having a cigar.
Really?
I was more an occasional smoker. I was the guy that I'm at a wedding, they pull out cigars.
A golf tournament.
Golf tournament. I'm that guy. I didn't like golfing with a cigar, but at the turn, I would always get a cigar, and probably I'd lose it by the 12th hole. I was like, shit, where did I leave it? You know, I'd put it on the cart, and it would be gone. I'd run it over. But I was that guy, the guy at the wedding that would have a cigar. This is in the 90s, early 2000. You know, I'd smoke a quarter of it, and then you'd find it in an ashtray. You know, that's why I tell people that want cigars for weddings, dude, don't spend a lot of money on those cigars, because most of the people are going to take 2 or 3 puffs, take a picture, and the cigar's gone. You know, but yeah, and it wasn't until I really, you know, then I would smoke when I went with the family, I would go to the Big Smoke, or I would go somewhere. I'd have cigars there, but not until I came back to the industry in 2011.
Yeah.
Did I not develop this crazy, not Josh-like, but
Not roadstock killer.
not roadstock killer. But I would smoke. But listen, I didn't. I mean, I think the passion was in me, but I didn't get it. I didn't get cigars back then. I sold leaf tobacco, so I didn't deal with cigars in the 80s. In the 90s, I really wasn't smoking. And then I was that occasional guy. I didn't appreciate everything a cigar can do for you. I mean, it's the most stress-relieving thing you can do.
You having a bad day, smoke a cigar.
Sure, smoke a cigar and relax.
Yeah.
So I didn't come to appreciate it till I came back in 2011. Yeah.
So speaking of like the cigar culture, we talked about all the good things. Like, and you're probably, you're a little bit more in the industry than most people. Like, what challenges do you see that, the cigar culture faces of like, I know they tried to mess with the flavored stuff for a while, then that kind of got tabled for a little bit, but like.
Well, we're dealing with California Nightmare right now. I don't know if you've heard about that. So California banned flavored cigars a few years ago.
Yeah.
And so now they've come up with legislation that you have to be on a non-flavored tobacco list to sell cigars in 2026.
That's California.
California per SKU.
What?
So if I want to, and it's $300 a SKU plus a box of that SKU sent to California, somewhere in California, and they approve it that it's non-flavored, and then you're on this list and retailers are allowed to sell it. So it would cost us, imagine what it would cost General and Altadas, but what it would cost a boutique like us to do all of our portfolio would be $40,000-$50,000.
Yeah.
We have 100 and something SKUs. It's $300 per SKU.
Jeez.
And then that's the first year. Every year after is $150 to renew being on that list. So I think the CRA and PCA and all these people are fighting it a little bit right now, but we're currently inside of a 45-day window that we have to register those brands if they want to be sold in California in 2026. And any cigar that is not is illegal in California.
That's wild. Why do you think California always does these
California
weird...
is, listen, you can walk down the street with a fat joint and nobody blinks.
Yeah.
Walk down the street with a cigar and you got people complaining all over.
And I don't know where that all started because like how cigars got such a bad rap because it's like they always try to lump it in with cigarettes. And
well, and if you read how it's written, premium cigars are exempt from this. Okay. We qualify for everything that's exempt except for one thing. It says has to have a wholesale price of over $12 a stick.
Over $12?
Yeah. I mean, we don't have a cigar.
No.
We don't have a cigar that retails for $25.
No.
So you're messing with 80% of the industry there. So we don't understand the definition of that line. Did they make a mistake? And maybe that's supposed to say retails for $12.
Yeah, that would make more sense.
That would make way more sense than wholesales for $12.
Yeah.
And I don't think California, like the FDA, didn't really understand premium cigars.
Yeah.
So then when you read the second part of the way it's written, it deals with Black and Mild and those plastic tips and filters, and that's the cigars they're really after, and we've been lumped into it.
That's wild.
And we've been lumped into it. So while they make it clear that premium hand roll cigars, long leaf tobacco, all this stuff is exempt from this list, right in between it is that $12.
$12.
And then you're like, wait a minute.
So a lot of people are probably dealing with that.
So everybody.
Yeah.
We had attorney meetings last week dealing with it. We're trying to get clarity on it. Again, you have the window opened August 25th to file this paperwork. If not, you cannot. You can file afterwards, but it'll take 3 months, meaning that you won't be able to sell cigars in California until February or March.
Jesus.
So that's the nightmare we're dealing with now. Listen, I don't know. I think the heart and soul is shops like yours, brick and mortars. Brick and mortars are the heart and soul of our cigar industry. are they going to go the way of mom and pop hardware stores or mom and pop appliance stores?
Yeah.
Because every day, all I'm seeing is these massive, big box stores taking over. They got this massive bar and this massive humidor. And, and it's not like they sell cigars any cheaper than you do.
No.
But the environment is completely different.
Yeah.
And the selection is completely different.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I used to go to my neighbor when I was growing up owned the hardware store. That guy went out of business with Home Depots and those places. Best Buy put an end to. My uncle sold TVs and washers and dryers. Unless he's selling them at Best Buy, he ain't selling them anywhere else. So
that's always.
I'm afraid of that, as you should be.
Yeah, it's always my fear if like a big CI or something comes and. Like they just want to open up, and I'm like, they always like, oh, it's good for the industry. No, it's good for you.
Yeah,
it's not good for the smaller businesses that are, trying to.
I mean, listen, I think the bigger places will survive.
Yeah,
but again, you'll see a trickle effect. The smaller lounges, and then it'll get to a point where if you don't have a liquor license, you're done.
I know.
If you don't have a liquor license, you're done.
Yeah, and that's
no matter what space you have, if you don't have a liquor license.
Yeah, and then like some states like here, like Kansas, and then I know Missouri. I don't know, Missouri's kind of weird, but like here, like you can't have both.
Yeah.
Like I mean, you can like file for all this paperwork, and you can get it, but it takes a lot of hurdles to get, and it's just like I don't want to become a bar, but it's like if that ever happens where all the big ones are opening up and I have to compete, like it's gonna be a long road, but.
I mean, listen. What is it? It's less than 2% of Americans
smoke cigars,
enjoy premium hand rolled cigars. What percentage of that percentage is the everyday smoker?
Yep,
you're down to under 1% probably.
Yep.
We don't have lobbying power. We don't have any type of any kind of put any kind of fear into any elected official. So it makes it more difficult for us. Why? Nobody has smoked a cigar, gotten in a car, and wiped out a family.
No. Yeah.
But alcohol does.
Yeah, but they don't want to mess with
But every TV commercial is all alcohol.
Yeah, because majority of Americans drink.
Yeah. What's the biggest crisis in America? Opioids. They're on TV every day. But God forbid there's a commercial about cigars.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think they'd have to worry about it anyways, because I don't think any cigar company has. I mean, the generals of the world is too, but we're not putting out TV commercials.
No.
At the
Yeah.
You're not going to see a Cohiba Super Bowl commercial. They don't have to worry about that. But yeah, it seems like every year there's new challenges. Every year,
every single
we're
year.
Fighting something.
Yeah,
we have the most misunderstood hobby on the planet.
I agree, and that's why every time I see a politician come in, I'm like, hey, we're good people. See, smoke cigars, everything's good. He's like, oh yeah, I'm like, because I might need you one day.
Yes, yes.
So
and the day you do, they're like, ooh,
exactly.
I don't know if I can get involved in cigars.
So what's next for ESPINOSA cigars?
Well, we just started sending out the new Warhead that comes in the really cool packaging.
Like I said, you guys always have the best boxes and packaging.
I think we kind of underestimated what it was going to take to do this. And the problem was that we had to order 10,000 of them to get the pricing, and this is before the tariffs. We had to order 10,000 for the mold, for the price to be right. So, we did 5,000 of 11, 2,500 each of 1 and 6. We're doing the re-ups.
Yeah.
And we'll bring out a couple others. I don't know if after what we're going through now, anybody's going to want to put out another bomb, but it seems to be very well received, and everybody's going crazy over these things.
Yeah, I can't wait to get mine.
But it's just what has to be done. The packaging comes from China. The boxes are being made in Miami. The cigars are being made in Nicaragua, and then it all converges into our warehouse. Imagine how many pallets it takes for 10,000 bombs of those bombs. And then we have to, like when I'm sitting there and I have nothing to do, I'm putting together bombs and boxes and tape and it's like an 8-step process. Open the can, put the seal on the bottom, put the cigars, put another rubber seal, close it so it closes correctly, so the mouth is facing the right way. Then somebody has to build the box. Put the insert at the bottom, insert at the top.
Jeez.
It's
all for
crazy.
one box.
All for one box. So, I mean, I realized what it was when I spent last week. I think it was Tuesday. I got there in the morning. We had a quick meeting in the morning, and then I spent the next 4 hours putting together boxes for moms, and I did like 120.
Jesus Christ.
And I was doing them at a good clip.
Yeah.
And it was like 120 of them. You know, it's like it's time consuming. It's like 5 minutes each.
Jeez.
So yeah, that's really all we're dealing with right now. And then we have we'll have what the trade show is, the TAA trade show coming up. That's for 80 retailers, but whatever deals we offer them, we extend to anybody else. That comes up in October, and right now it's just travel with the reps.
So speaking of tariffs, like how has that affected like the company?
So when it went to 18% in the beginning, then it was brought back to 10%. So we had a meeting, and my point was we have a lot of inventory at the warehouse that are not affected by those tariffs. Yes, we have shipments coming in, but the shipments that are coming in are stuff that were sold at the trade show. We can't raise that price. It was already sold.
Yep.
So why don't we, a lot of companies immediately started raising prices. I said, why don't we be that company that kind of absorbs this right now? Because I don't think it certainly won't be a 10% hit. When you look at it with orders that have inventory here and this and that, it might be a 2% hit, a 3%. Yeah. Let's absorb it. Let's see what happens. And in 3 months, when they decide what they're going to do, he decides what they're going to do. We'll deal with it then. And then when he took it back to 18%, we only raised like 6%.
Yeah.
But there has to be something to offset this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we're taking a huge hit. Nothing like the bombs. I mean, the bombs, think about it, are coming from China. We were landing those things at like $10 a bomb. And we had, the week before the trade show, he threatened that 155% tariff or 154% tariff. And we were like, oh my God.
Shit.
We can't sell these.
Yeah.
And then luckily, right before the trade show, it changed to 30. And we did the math, and we're like, all right, it's going to affect our margin big time. I can assure you that of all the things we've ever made, retailers are making way more money on these than we are. So it's a volume play for us.
Yes.
There's 10,000 of them. 9,700 have been sold. So it is a volume play.
Yeah.
Certainly not the world that you're making Keystone or anywhere near it. But yeah, we're dealing with that and getting ready for next year's trade show already.
Yeah.
And we got Lazona-Palooza coming up.
I know, and that's what that's gonna be my next question. Yeah. Like, kind of tell people about Lazona-Palooza.
So Lazona-Palooza is a celebration. This will be like either 9 or 10. It's every year for 3 days. We open the warehouse to invited guests. How do you get invited? You kind of post on social media about Espinosa. Hashtag Espinosa every day, whatever. And there's a bunch of people doing took that Espinosa every day, literally, and every day they smoke an Espinosa cigar and a different Espinosa cigar, and they post and post and post. Those people, we go through all that, which is another time-consuming thing, and then get the invites out, which will be going out in the next few weeks. And this year it's November 13th, 14th, and a big closing party on the 15th. They come in, it's drinks and food, and it's just like a giant herf for 3 days.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And everybody seems to have a good time except us that work there,
Yeah, you got to work.
I always tell the story that, and the reps, they all dying to come. And I'm like, why? Why? Stay in your territory. I'll go work your territory. Yeah. Before, Eric doesn't invite many other people that are not Espinosa. Yeah. But we've always been friends. So every year before I work with Eric, he would say, stop by, say hi to the people, stop by. So like on Friday, I'd go by for 2 hours and I'd say hi and I'd have a cigar and talk to a bunch of people. It was fantastic. And I'd say goodbye and leave. Now I got to be there 14 hours a day. Yep. Now it's like, when are you people leaving? Yeah.
He's like, I got to work and I got to do this and that.
But that's coming up and then It's incredible how fast the years pass.
Yeah. Yeah, you ain't kidding. Yeah. So you're smoking a knuckle sandwich.
Yes, sir.
What's your favorite Espinosa cigar?
Right now, it's this. So it kind of changes. You know, I was on a big murcielago run for a while. I'm a Connecticut guy. Crema's always in my rotation.
That flies through here.
Crema's always in my rotation. The Azulejo, I cannot smoke. It's, to me, it's forget La Bomba, Warhead. Cigars that were meant to be strong are not as strong as Azulejo. To me, Azulejo has knocked me out 2 or 3 times that I've tried.
Really?
The Laranja Oscuro, the one I brought you for the charity.
Yeah.
That one is probably second on my list. In terms of Espinosa, I think with the Laranja Reserva and that Laranja Oscuro, 601 Green is the unsung hero to me. 601 Blue, Josh's cigar.
That's my favorite.
That's your favorite. Yeah. I'm not much of a broadleaf guy. So I don't know if it's the blend, because I know that some of the chef, one of the chef specials had that broadleaf, and I loved it. But for some reason, the 601 Blue doesn't hit me right.
Yeah.
And the 601 Red is a Habano. We have a Habano. I never really smoked it a lot, but the green was so unique to me, and it was the only time we used that Nicaraguan Oscuro wrapper.
Yeah.
That you know, and it's the one that sells the least of the 3.
Really?
Sells well,
Yeah.
but not compared to red and blue.
Yeah.
Not compared to blue. I mean, blue sells more than the other 2 combined. And then when Knuckle Sandwich came out, I was a Habano guy. And then when the Connecticut
That's
came
my
out,
favorite knuckle sandwich right there, that Connecticut one.
when the Connecticut came out, it's over.
Yeah, because it has a little bit of spice to it, so it doesn't seem like it's too like mild. And that's one of my favorites.
And I'll smoke this as long as I can until Eric realizes I'm smoking one of our most expensive cigars every day.
So you are also the road stock killer too, huh? Just don't. Yeah. Eric, don't listen to this.
Yeah, Eric doesn't watch this. No.
He's too busy.
I remember in the beginning we have the e-bundles, and we have a Connecticut and Habano in a bundle brand, long filler, really nice bundle. And I was smoking the sales director that Eric had before used to always smoke a Laranja, which at the time was his most expensive cigar. And he would always tell me, this dude is smoking like our most expensive cigar every day. And I used to joke with him, I'm smoking an e-bundle every day. I love the e-bundle Connecticut. And then I went to Crema, as I got more confident. And then Knuckle Sandwich Connecticut came out, and now I'm smoking this every day. I'm just waiting for him to go, this motherfucker.
Wait a minute. So before we end, I got two more questions. So in the next 5 to 10 years, where do you see yourself?
Hopefully retired.
Yeah.
Hopefully retired. In January, I turned 65. And get some Medicare going. I hope I can do this for another. I mean, listen, the traveling is what's weighing heavy. On Eric too. The traveling is what weighs the heaviest. But at some point, and me and Eric have talked about it, what I'd like to do is kind of, a little bit similar to what Miguel Chardell at Crown Heads did. Listen, I don't need the title. I don't care if they make me vice president of. I don't care.
Yeah.
But kind of promote one of these guys to a regional or a regional sales director and limit the time I travel. I think that'll extend me as long as I stay healthy.
Yeah.
And can do this. I'd love to do it because I came back late in the game.
Yeah.
I came back to the cigar industry when I was 50. And then fell in love with it. I wish I would have had this love and when I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
Because I would have loved to spend a lifetime doing this. But listen, it's incredible that I'm 3 or 4 months away from being with Eric 7 years.
Jeez.
Time has flown by. So right now I am still enjoying being with the reps. It's the traveling that's exhausting.
So that kind of leads me to my next question is if you
all of this will be solved on Saturday if I win the Powerball.
Yeah, exactly. Hey,
and I can tell you, like I told Josh and like everybody in Espinosa, you guys, short of somebody at Espinosa winning it themselves, they want nobody other than me to win it because I will take care of everybody. I will take care of Eric. Eric and his son have taken good care of me. They will be now. Once I make all these people multimillionaires, who the hell is going to want to sell cigars?
Exactly.
I mean, I'm going to take care of Josh and all my reps. There's plenty of money now, especially now that it's 1.7.
Mm-hmm. You know, I bought my ticket today.
I was willing to do this when it was 300. You know, and now I have excess amount of money, and I will. It will be the end of Espinosa. I can assure you.
Well, I think everybody there would be kind of happy, like,
yeah.
50, 60
I
billion.
told Josh what we'll do is we'll keep it as a hobby and just give away cigars. Listen, nobody's going to your store, but you're you know, Mike, you supported us. Whenever you need cigars, call us. They're free.
I hope you win.
Yeah, they're free. We're going to continue to make them. They're free. Just call us and put in an order, you know, and let's move forward. And we'll keep the Espinosa name out there. But I don't think you'll see me or Eric out there.
Hey, I like that idea. Yeah. Now I'm rooting for you. Look, I bought my ticket. I'm like, you know what? I think Jack might need to win this. So if you could tell yourself, like, back when you were younger, before you got into the industry, like, what if you could sit yourself down, what would you tell yourself?
Before I got in the industry, get in the industry. Yeah, you're not understanding cigars. You're not understanding this industry, and I wasn't. When I was younger, I wasn't. It was something I didn't. You know, listen, I didn't fully understand why I lost my dad at 13, and I'm sure that just like the FDA is blaming us a little bit for cigarettes. Yeah, I was blaming us a little bit. You know, my dad, the cigar guy, dies at 63 years old. You know, that left a bad taste. I didn't understand the cigar industry. And listen, the cigar industry back then wasn't what it was now. What it was now. Yeah. I think had I come back, you know, listen, I moved to Chicago and I loved my time in Chicago with my brother. 14 years in Chicago were amazing. But I think if I didn't move to Chicago and got in with a family on the ground floor, I think that's what grew into the passion and the love for cigars. I think I that would have been a good move as well. But yeah, these have been the best 7 years of my life.
Yeah, I was about to say,
my life.
Yeah. You guys are killing it, and I'm sure.
And it's not only that. I mean, listen. Eric thinks he wrote this line, but he uses it all the time. Find something you love to do, and you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah, he did not.
Like
Eric,
you know, says it like, you know,
I coined that.
Me and Hector. That when Eric said it, somebody quoted like, Find something you love to do and you'll never work a day in your life. And they signed it, Eric Espinosa, like somebody, like he had come up with this. So Hector and I spent one afternoon like 4 and Eric Espinosa. We came out with every famous quote.
To be or not to be.
Signed by Eric. But it's true. And this is something I love to do. I love to do, and I hope I can do it. You know, like my grandfather. I'm 90 years old.
91, yeah. I wish I could do this till I'm 90. I'm hoping.
You know, And listen, when I'm 80 and I can't do it, I'll probably be sitting in a chair.
Hey, hell yeah. You're always welcome here.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Well, Jack, man, it's been my pleasure having you on, man. I know you got a busy weekend. I know you're going to root for the Chiefs tonight. So
you know, he pissed me off last year, but in that one where he cried like a baby after a loss and blamed the referee or blame something.
Here we go.
Yeah, but I really like Pat Mahomes.
Okay,
I really like him. I like Travis Kelce. You know, Josh is a big Swiftie.
Yeah, he is.
You know, so
yeah, he's got his 87 jersey with Swiftie in the back.
Yeah, so I think I don't dislike the Chiefs.
Oh, you heard that, huh?
I don't dislike the Chiefs, but I'll be honest with you, I don't care. I'm worried about the Dolphins and the Colts on Sunday.
Well, good luck to both those teams.
And at least you've had something to cheer about in the last few years.
Yes.
Because I haven't. Since Bob Greasy, I haven't had anything.
The undefeated season.
I'd like to tell, you know, a lot of people say, well, you never saw. No, well, I'm old enough that I went to games in the undefeated season. I was a Dolphin fan. I saw them win 2 Super Bowls. And that ended in 1973.
Yeah. That's why we get spoiled, but I'm like, hey, enjoy this because this is probably not going to be around for the next 10 years. No, of course not. In 1983,
me and all my friends went to Pasadena, went to see the Dolphins and the Redskins. We were at that stadium and watched the Redskins beat the Dolphins.
That's
and
awesome.
Marino got his ass kicked by San Francisco in 85. We weren't there, but you know, we suffered through that game, and then we've never seen another Super Bowl. So, credit to anybody that gets to go to, I don't know if you're happy being Buffalo that you lose every Super Bowl you go to.
Jeez,
four in a row.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But when you have something, listen, we're at least we have the Florida Panthers now.
Yay.
Back-to-back Stanley Cups.
Yeah.
I'm not a Heat fan, never was. I hated LeBron because I was living in Chicago and I grew up. I loved Jordan. I'm a Bulls fan. You're wearing your Air Jordans. I'm a big Michael Jordan guy.
So I don't have to ask Jordan and LeBron.
Oh shit, that's not even a question.
Okay, mark it down, Eastside. That's one more for Jordan.
Yeah, it's not even a question.
Take it like a running tally.
That's the heat. If anybody says LeBron, you should throw him right out. Throw him right out.
Remember, because I'll see him tomorrow. I'm like, hey, I got one more person.
Oh, you know the LeBron guy?
Oh yeah.
LeBron's falling out of the top 5 right now. Kobe's way ahead of him anywhere else. Second to Michael, it's Kobe.
Okay.
Second to Michael is Kobe. So
well, Jack, I appreciate you coming on. Tell people how I guess they could find you on like social media and stuff.
Jack Torano, like he said it, not Torano. This is mostly send me a friend request or follow my page because I'm old. So I'm still like a Facebook guy. You guys are lucky I'm not using MySpace. I mean, but I'm a Facebook guy. I do my best on Instagram. It's at Jack Torano to put everywhere I'll be and keep everybody updated. The ESPINOSA CIGARS Facebook page, the La Zona Facebook page. That's where you want to post pictures if you want to get invited to La Zona Palooza. That's where you want to post them, not on my page. But as long as you hashtag them Espinosa every day, we search that hashtag. So yeah, absolutely. It's a fun ride.
Cool.
And I hope to see everybody out there. And
I'll make it out there one of these times.
Yeah, you got to come to Los
I keep
just don't wear that jersey.
Oh, here we go. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms, the Strawberry Hill Podcast, and we will check you out next time. We're out.